crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel. We are going to go ahead and make a cute little summer card. We are going to craft with Life is Sweet by Keep It Simple. So we have these cutie little bees, we have the smaller one, and then we have a cute honey cupcake, flowers, the hives, some honey drip, an actual honey jar, and honeycombs, and of course this little stamp here for the bee trail. And then we have Be Beautiful, Life is Sweet, Home Sweet Hive. Love it. Okay, then we're also going to use some clouds as well. This is pretty, I believe this is Pretty Pink Posh. I'll try to find it. For some reason I don't have the label for that, so I will again try to find it and put it in the description area. And we're going to go ahead and create a cloud. We're going to go ahead and do some ink blending. I'm going to use my Distress Oxides, Scattered Straw, and Tumbled Glass. I'm not exactly sure the direction we're going to go with this card, but stay tuned. We're going to find a way to make this card. I have an idea, but yeah, we're going to play around with it first, okay? So we're going to put that in there, and then I think we're going to do all three bees, and we'll stamp it several times because I have an idea of what I want to do. I just don't know how many bees I'm going to need. I'm going to go ahead and use my Memento Tuxedo Black. Oh, and before I forget, I do have a little special video clip at the end. My daughter made a card on camera and she used the little stamps and dies, so she wanted me to make a video for her, so I'm going to go ahead and put that at the end of the video. So stick around if you want to see her make a cutie little card. I did have to edit it quite a bit, so you'll see it pieced together, but it is so darn cute. Okay, now let's go ahead and get to coloring. I'm using Y21, Y23, B40s, B30s, RB11, N2, and N4. Very basic coloring. And let me go ahead and zoom in. Here we go. And I like to personally start with my line. Went over the lines here, that's okay. I like to start with my lightest and then come in with a darker one. And before I forget, I want this to have time to dry. This is just a white 10 gel pen, and it's great to add detail, but also to white out your mistakes. Okay, so again, I'm just going to do one set of bumblebees on camera, and then I will die cut them out. So, and I don't like to wait too long before I bring in my darker color, because I don't want to give it time to dry, because I do want them to kind of marinate with one another. So, and I don't play with lighting. I am not that good of an artist. I am not an artist by any means, so I just do what I think is best. Oh, and then I gotta get this teensy little bee here. I'm just gonna go ahead in a circular motion, color that, come in, add some shading, and then blend it out. Okay, so there's that, and then we'll do the gray, so that's N2. Again, that's my lightest of the grays. Alright, get the little or the stinger. Oh my gosh, speaking of bees, well, not really, but I have this wasp. Every year, y'all, we get a wasp nest always in our back porch, and it is so annoying. I need to put it, like, I heard if you put down a brown, or if you hang up a brown paper bag, they'll think that that area has been claimed. So I really need to do that one year, because every year, I swear, they're just like, let's try it again this year, see if we can make it, just to annoy Rachel. I swear, that's what they're thinking. or to scare her. But anyways, there's a wasp that is flying around our house. I can't find the nest, and I swear it's almost gotten into my house like 2 or 3 times. And y'all, my husband is allergic to them, and so I can't rely on him to, and this is RV11 for the cheeks, I can't rely on him to kill them, you know, in our house, because I don't want him to balloon up and go to the hospital. This is B40s. So it's up to me. And I have, if anyone that knows me, I have the biggest fear of insects that fly. Like, I don't like ladybugs, flies, nothing. And so, and then you add, and it stemmed from bees. I didn't get stung a lot by bees, believe it or not, which is why it's weird to have my fear. I mean, I got stung by a yellow jacket, a hornet before. I got stung by a bumblebee before, you know, or, you know, honeybee. So I've been stung before, but it's not enough like I was attacked by them. It just became such an irrational fear. And I think anything that flies just freaks me out, because I feel like a spider I can control better because it doesn't fly at me. And maybe that has something to do with it. But anyways, so it would be up to me to get this wasp out of our house. And let me tell you, it is definitely scary. I scream as if this bee or this wasp is like gonna care about that. All right, so I'm just adding some accents to it, some dots, maybe a line, nothing super artistic, just to give it a little bit of a definition, kind of just not overthinking it. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's how it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and then I'll get them die cut. And then when we come back, or when I get done, we will do some ink blending. Okay, I have all my bees all die cut out and colored. Now, I doubt that I will use even half that, but that's okay, because I can always make another card. I would rather have too much than not enough, so that's just kind of the way I roll when it comes to that. Plus, I don't mind the coloring aspect of things. And then, just like the bees, I'm going to cut out more clouds than I really need. And I'm kind of just, I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking, you know, I really don't have, this is going to be too big. I probably should just get a big, I probably should have gotten a bigger piece of paper instead of trying to piece this all together, but I'm trying to use my scraps. So we'll just add the clouds until we can't fit, and then whatever I don't use can get, I don't think that's gonna fit. Nope. All right, sure, if I rearrange it a little bit it would fit better, but whatever doesn't get used I'll put back here, and that way I have some already pre-made clouds, and I can skip that process in that card video. Okay, so there's that, and then I am going to add just a little bit, well, you know what? No, I will. I was going to add some color to it, and I think I will. So there's those. And then we have, okay, so again, probably way more than I'll end up using. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of color, probably not even enough for you all. I wonder if I want to use N0. Yeah, see, that's even, I might go C0. I'm going to use C00, and I'm just going to do one of those. Like, I'm just going to accent him a little bit. I'm not going to focus too much time on, and I'm going to go try to be inside the stitched lines. Again, this is just little funsies, totally unnecessary. Maybe you can add some blue if you wanted to, like a very light B quadruple 0. So blue, B and 4 zeros if you wanted to. instead of gray, but I feel like this kind of cast a little bit of a shadow. Okay, and I might jazz them up a little bit with some glitter, some glossy accents or something. I'm not quite sure. We're gonna go ahead and put those to the side because we don't need them right now. So let me know if this, you can kind of see my fan. I know some of you guys have said it's fine. I'm a ceiling fan and it just gets hot in this craft room because there isn't any cross ventilation. And when these lights are on, ooh, it gets warm in here. Plus I'm not a spring chicken anymore. It's, I just had my 40th birthday at the time of recording this. So not that the hot flashes are starting, but yeah. I'm just gonna tap some of that off. And then I am going, okay, so I just tapped some of that off. And then I'm just gonna come down over here and start ink blending. Okay, and I'm okay if it gets blotchy on the edges because I'm actually going to trim it off anyways. All right. Now, when you mix blue and yellow, what color do you get? Do you get green? So when we mix the two together, we need to be careful with having those two overlap because I do not want any of that. And I'm going to go really dark towards the bottom and be lighter as I go towards the top. But I don't want any, hold on, let me get a Post-it. Okay, I'm doing Post-it because I don't want my fingers to get all inky, plus I don't want it to be, I don't want any fingerprints to show too, right? Okay. In fact, I'm going to trim a lot of this off, so I need to bring this up just a little bit better. Okay, and I just want to go a little bit light. All right. There we go. I have all these beautiful inks and I feel like I always gravitate towards Distress Oxides. They're like my fave. Okay, I'm just gonna go light. I think that's good, hopefully. Alrighty, so there's that. Alright, so switching that over, I'm gonna go ahead and do the blue. And again, I'm going to be very mindful of not mixing. And I'm okay if the blue is a little splotchy, or blotchy, whatever you want to call it, because it just will help with the cloud concept, right? Okay. So I have a little bit of white. And that is okay because, again, it will just help with giving it the more realistic look of a sky, right? And I think that's, well, let's see. I think that's what I want to do. That looks good. Okay. All done with the ink blending. Alrighty, what we're going to do is I have another panel and we're going to layer the blended panel on top of this panel. But before we do that, I am going to trim down my A2 card size to, nope, I want to do 4, not 4 1/4. So I want to trim it down to 4 and then I want to trim this down to 5 1/4 so we can have a little bit of a margin. So there's that, and then this I'm going to trim down the sides. That's going to be the easiest part. So I'm going to trim 1/8 of an inch on both sides so that way I don't get that harsh blended edge there that you see there. Okay. Now if you don't care about that, then just trim one side and you're good to go. And I'm also going to trim down, let's see here, I'm going to trim oops, I meant to go the other way. I just want to trim that top of that off just a little bit. Okay, now here's where it doesn't matter. I'm probably doing like just a 1/16 of an inch, super, super thin, okay? It doesn't really matter. Now here, I want to trim, the idea of it is I want to have some white space at the bottom. Now this does, the sentiments do have a coordinating die. I don't want to, I just want to stamp directly on there. So what I'm going to do, I think, oh, this one. I am going to trim, this is why I said I had to bring the yellow up a little bit more, because I knew that I wanted to trim it down an inch. Yeah, trim off an inch. So I'm going to do that. So we have just shy of 5.5. So I'm going to trim this down to about 4.5, just a little bit. And that trimmed off the yellow. So now, and I may have to go, now that looks a little bit too narrow. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim off. I'm going to go ahead and trim off some of that blue. I don't want to trim off any more of that yellow. So I'm going to go down to 4.25. Okay, let's see. Life is sweet. I just need to go just a little bit more, just a little bit more. So we got basically a square. No, it's 4 by 4.25. I'm gonna go ahead and go about 4.125. I don't need to go any further than that. That should be perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is placement of my cutie little bees. Again, I know I cut way more than I really need, and that's okay. That just means I get to make another card. Let's go ahead, in fact, let's go ahead and glue this together. Because I want to see if I have room to play with the sentiment and the bee placement. So I think that would be the next best thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just run some double-sided tape. There we go. Perfect. And then perfect. All right. Easy peasy lemon the squeezy. My daughter always says easy peasy lemon the squeezy, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so cute. So now that's like always in my head. All right, so we'll just put that in my stamping tool before I get all too crazy with placement of my little cutie little patootie bees. And do I want, see, now here's what I do. I think I might want, yeah, I think I do want it right justified. Okay. Okay, I'm not quite confident on my placement. Okay, so I'm gonna put some clear acetate over, just because, again, I'm not quite confident on the placement of, well, there you go, I can just stay like that, of my sentiment. I'm not sure if it's quite straight. Something is really throwing my eye, so before I go crazy, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that on there. Oops. Okay, that actually worked out really, really well. So that's good. All right, so we can just take that off, stamp this again. Before we put our card panel onto our card base, I think it'd be wise to go ahead and add our elements so I can trim them off before. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the clouds down. I don't want to add dimension to them. And then I'll pop up my bees. Now I'm going to figure out the placement. I just picked some random clouds. I don't know if I'm exactly going to be married to them, but and look, I'm not going to be using all of my bees in my clouds. I knew that I wasn't when I was making this card, so Also, one alternative is you could have masked this off so that way you're not using two different panels. So there's that. I guess I wasn't thinking at that time when I started ink blending, which is why I added a second panel. So just something for you to consider, you know, when you're creating your card, if you want to replicate this design. Okay. So we'll put that cloud, and I want some of it to go off. I want it to be as organic as possible. And we'll just do something like that. That's cute. Do I want to do a bigger? No, I don't want to do too big. I knew those were going to be too big. Maybe we'll do something like that. Okay. All right, perfect. And then we'll do this one, let's see, like that and that can go overlap. Okay, and then we'll just have, I'm going to push this out just a little bit more, and then this little bee. If all bees, honeybees, were as cute as these, I wouldn't be so scared of them. Because they're like happy bees, and when you're happy, you're not going to sting. Okay, now, I just realized I wanted to do some splattering. I wanted it to do some gold splattering, and I just realized as I'm putting on the last cutie little bee that I didn't splatter my card. So we're going to do some faux splattering. I've never done this before. I gotta practice it on a piece of paper. So let me go ahead and get that. Hang on one second. I gotta do a controlled splatter. Here's hoping, and I think I'm just gonna kind of just, I hate doing faux splatters because I feel like I get too methodical, and tap some of that off. And then I overthink it. Am I the only one that does that? That is, I gotta make sure I wipe this off. That would stink if I got it on my other card. Okay, there is the card. I'm not gonna add any more to this. I think this is good to go. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna trim off the sides, and we'll put this onto the card. I probably should have done that, and then we would have been done, but I got too excited and I did not want to forget. So here we are, the results. All right, so let me, oh, and you know what? I think I do want to add a little bit more to this actually, but I'm going to do it once everything's on the panel, because the stickles is going to take a little bit longer for that to dry. So this will take no time at all. By the time I clean up my workspace, it will be dried. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, it is now dried, and hopefully you can see the shimmer. I don't know if my camera is picking it up or the light is picking it up. I don't know, but oh, it's so pretty. Love it. All right. So now we just need to turn it around and trim off the parts that is sticking out. There we go. Just to me, when you do that, it just makes it look more professional. And then, of course, you could, if you had the space, you could probably, of course, this probably should go like this, so it should be on this side, but I don't have the space. I kind of wonder if I could get away with something that maybe, because I don't really like that gold splatter there, so, you know, yeah, let's do that. That actually looks pretty good. Oh my goodness, that little part I just did not like. So I'm just going to add some glue, and I'm going to have it go up just a little bit, because I don't like how you can see that it's flat right there, and to me it just looks weird or kind of wonky. Oh no, shoot. Oh, I was going to say you glued down fast. I got new cardstock. This is Hammer Mill cardstock, and it is way smoother than, I'll try to link it in the description. I got it off of Amazon. It's way smoother than the cardstock I use, which is from Hobby Lobby, because it's just more affordable in my opinion. But actually, the Hammer Mill cardstock is not that expensive. I was pretty happy. Every time I order the Nina Classic Crust and Solar Right, like a lot of the other content creators use, I always get like the 100-pound cardstock doesn't feel as thick as the 110 or 100-pound cardstock I'm used to work with. So I don't know, there's that. Do your own research, whatever makes sense for you all, you do you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my foam panel, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up just to provide a little bit of dimension. And then I'm gonna stand up. I was going to do yellow on yellow, but I feel like that was gonna be too much. So I am going to do just a white plain Jane cardstock. That extra dimension just gives it a little something extra. And there is our finished card. And I don't think it, oh, you know what I was gonna do? It does need something. Hold on one second. I'm gonna bring in my Twinkle Stickles, and I'm just going to, let me just start it over here. Okay. I'm gonna throw that away before I get it all over my desk. I'm just gonna add just a little bit of Twinkle, not a whole lot, because I don't want it to compete with the gold splatter. Let me know if you would have just left it alone. I don't know, I guess it depends if you like the extra sparkle, if you are more of a simplistic designer, card maker. Oh my goodness, Rachel, I should have started with the bottom and then worked my way up. And I'm just kind of putting it on the inside of the wings, sort of, so, all right, something like that maybe. And then I'm just gonna kind of use that to spread it. And then, so it looks a little bit more organic. I don't think it competes with the gold splatter. Of course, I'm a glitter girl. I love glitter. I used to wear eye makeup with a lot of glitter, you all. It's, yeah, it was a lot then. I think it looks really good. Oh my goodness. All right, well, what do you guys think? I don't know, I just love how this turned out. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate that, and hit that hype button. That really does help out this video and of course this channel. And drop me a comment and let me know what you think of this card. Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. I have a special guest star in part of today's video. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, we're going to be making a card today. And we're going to use, go ahead and show them.
We are going to craft all these bumblebee things, but not really. It's supposed to be like this. And we got the same thing as we showed you. And it's cardstock.
Those are dies.
Dies. And it's so pretty, right?
Open this.
Oh, you want to do a card?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got this thing.
It's a cover plate die.
As a cover plate die, you gotta do this, and this is sticky. You stick it on there and it sticks to there. And then we got this. Do we need this? Okay. Then we got this scratchy thing. You scratch it, it hurts kind of. Then we got this bumblebee cardstock, and it's huge.
That's what we're going to be using to make a card today.
Yeah!
So we're going to show them.
I got this beautiful crown, and I made this all by myself. And if you can touch it, just touch it. And you can't touch it through the camera. So, put these over here. We're not going to use them. It doesn't fit. This fits, guys. And then I got this pretty rose. So pretty, right? Yeah.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp a bumblebee, and then you're going to get a marker to color it.
Okay, let's stamp it first,
All
guys.
right, which bumblebee do we want to do? Okay, that's good, that's good. Now lift it up. Okay.
I'm going to put one beside me.
And push down. Okay, that's good.
Well, it started out really inky. Okay, I'm going to put mine right here.
Nice.
Take it off, everyone. I'm going to put it that way I can see, guys.
Okay, put it on there. It's like a puzzle. There you go.
And my mom is going to do the next one. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my mommy's channel. Bye-bye.